You get one look at Johnson's amendment. Good morning. I'm going to call to order our meeting. This is a adjourned meeting of the Health, Environment, and Community Engagement Committee. My name is Cam Gordon. I'm chair of the committee. This morning I'm joined by council members Andrew Johnson, Jacob Fry, and Elizabeth Glidden. We are a quorum of the committee and we can conduct the committee's business. I suspect other committee members will be arriving soon. There's just two items on our agenda today. The first is to take up the tobacco sales ordinance, what we had the public hearing of, and the second is from Regulatory Services, Minneapolis Animal Care and Control, and we're just, my plan is to move to postpone that to our next regular meeting, August 7th. So maybe I'll just move that postponement right now and get that out of the way. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, and on the tobacco sales ordinance, I think we had a lot of discussion about this at the last meeting. I'm not sure how much we want to talk about it here, but we have plenty of time that we can take if we want. To get things started, though, I would like to move passage of the ordinance amending Title 13, Chapter 281, relating to license business regulations, tobacco dealers, to restrict the sales of all flavored tobacco products, including menthol, mint, and wintergreen, to tobacco shops. And open the floor for discussion. Councilmember Johnson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have a motion and appreciate your office's help with this. So this motion just adds a section in that would permit sale at liquor stores where children are not allowed unaccompanied with, and so basically any location where a person has to be 21 years of age or older. So I'll go ahead and make that motion, and I have copies for the clerk as well. So if anybody wants to see them, just come over here.
Okay, so that motion is to amend the ordinance amendment before us. And I'll just read, I guess, the most relevant sentence so it's clear to everybody. This subsection does not apply to licensed off-sale liquor stores with regard to menthol, mint, or wintergreen flavored tobacco products, provided that such an establishment does not permit any person under the age of 21 to be present within the establishment unaccompanied by a parent or guardian. And I guess I'll speak on that. This is something that was discussed, actually came up at the industry meeting that we had. There was concerns about where people are going to buy cigarettes in some parts of our city. And there was a thought that if it was still allowed in liquor stores, that would also offer some protection to youth. I know there's been conversations with many of the advocates about it. So I see this as a step, I think, to address some of the concerns, and I'm supportive of it. Any other discussion on the motion? Amendment. All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that amendment carries then. Then we can go back to the now amended ordinance. Any further discussion on that? I do want to acknowledge, before we take the vote, all the people who've paid attention to this issue. I think this has been a somewhat difficult discussion that's for the city. I was very impressed with the public hearing. I think we had close to 80 people who spoke at the public hearing from all parts of the city, all ages. I actually was very impressed with some of the youth who spoke. Some of them were soft-spoken and gentle, and other people had strong and strident voices, but it was very moving. I'll also, I appreciated the concerns that were shared with us from convenience store operators and those people who are now doing the sales of cigarettes. And after we consider this, I'll have a staff direction that will outline a little bit about the timing. I think I talked about this at the committee meeting as well. And that staff direction is written kind of with a focus on how can we assist the transition for those convenience stores or others that are really concerned about the impacts it might have on their stores. Any other discussion on the amendment? Welcome, Councilmember Bender. So we have an amended ordinance before us, and we're about to take the vote. Go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to thank everyone so much again for coming out to the very long public hearing. It was really wonderful to see so many members of our community here to speak on this important issue, and especially the young people who came and whose voices were so powerful. I just want you to know that you made a big difference in our city by getting involved, and I hope you'll stay involved and keep coming back to City Hall and tell us what you think about all kinds of other things. So thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much. Seeing no other comments then, all those in favor of the amendment as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Any abstentions? That motion carries. And the last piece of this, for me anyway, is the staff direction. I'll read that. Every committee member should have it before them, and there's copies of it over by the clerk here in the room. But this is directing the licensing department to begin enforcement of the menthol, mint, and wintergreen sections of Title 13, Chapter 281, no earlier than August 1st, 2018. And further directing the city coordinator's office, small business support teams to work with the Community Planning and Economic Development Department's Economic Policy and Development Division and the Minneapolis Health Department to support convenience stores and corner stores in making a successful transition to complying with the new provisions. Any discussion, questions, or comments about the staff direction? Seeing none then, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. That motion carries. And I believe that concludes the business that we have before us today. Thank you, everybody, for being here. This meeting is adjourned.